an avalanche of this sort of research, and that's what I tapped to make this book research-based. But until a couple of years ago, I really couldn't even contemplate that. I had to make the argument from the standpoint of basic physiology and try to drag the reader through very complex biochemical concepts to get them to that endpoint. And I still do that to an extent in this book. If anyone tries to read it, you'll find yourself relatively tortured on the chapter on global metabolic conditioning, because there's just no good way to simplify the process without dragging you through the stepwise intellectual process that says, this is why it's true. But that sort of stuff has been accumulated. Now the testing's available and that literature's available, and that's what we tapped. Now the middle part of it says for bodybuilding, strength training, and complete fitness. When most people hear that, they hear three separate things, that we're going to do this, this, and this. But what I want to demonstrate for you in this talk is those three separate things are actually subcategories of all the same thing. Okay? There's bodybuilding, there's strength training, complete fitness. Now, I don't care who you are. If you do the type of workout that Doug puts his clients through down at Intelligent Exercise, you're going to get complete fitness. And we're going to discuss that later in the talk, and you'll understand why. You will also get bodybuilding and strength training. How much of those two things you get are very much determined by your own individual genetics. Okay? Proper exercise is like the Army. It can make you all you can be. But what you can be is dictated by your genetics. And there's a chapter in the book, chapter 8, that discusses these genetic factors. And there are several different genes that determine what your physical outcome from exercise is going to be. Now, strength training and bodybuilding, there is a gene called interleukin 15. Actually, interleukin 15 is the protein coded for by the gene. And you get a copy from your dad and a copy from your mom. And the gene is either inserted or deleted. Okay? If you get a double insertion of the interleukin 15 gene, what happens with you is when you strength train, your strength increases are fairly modest. But what will happen in conjunction with that is your muscle size increase is very pronounced. For a very small increment in strength increase, your muscles get quite a bit larger. Now, if you get a deletion and a deletion from each of your parents, so that gene has an insertion that's deleted both times, then you have the opposite scenario. You're a guy that within 6 weeks of starting a proper training program has doubled their strength, but can go on for a long, long, long time putting on a very small amount of muscle mass.